Hi. Hello, friends. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to be here because I think that it is fabulous that you group of ladies have made it through this Leap to Lead program that Morgan has put on and are here, are soaking in all the information, are getting ready to do the big things. Like, that's incredible. So I just want you to know that I'm so proud of you. And I'm so excited to share a little tidbit. I hope that maybe it's something different than what you've heard from me before, but who knows? Who knows, right? So say hi when you hop on. I'm going to keep this hopefully 20-30 minutes at most. I don't want to speak too long. I know that it's like a weird part of the day, but this is just what kind of worked for me. So, hi Carrie, hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. So thankful that Morgan asked me. I love that girl. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And yeah, so you can say, people can say hi when they get on. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my story. And then I've got 3 leadership tips for you because I know that you guys are in your leadership week. And I don't know, I think that leaders we all kind of have similar advice because the ebbs and flows of leadership are, they mirror a lot of the same things. So I do hope that something resonates with you, or maybe it's just my story, who knows, but I'm pumped about this. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Brianna Engel. I am a superstar director of Scentsy Dreamers, and I'm still like in shock that this is my reality, that this is my business, that I get to do Scentsy every day, and all that it's given me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back. I'm going to take you back almost 5 years. Okay. I've been with Scentsy for almost 5 years now, and it's completely wild to me that, where I started and why I started and my reality today, the difference. Okay. So, I joined Scentsy in September of 2017. I joined on a whim. I put some thought into it, but like, I wasn't seeking Scentsy specifically. Like, Scentsy was not at the forefront of my mind when I was looking for an opportunity. I was just in a season of life where my youngest was almost a year old, and I have 2 other children. I have 3 kids altogether. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home wife ever since I got married. I went from working all the time to being married and staying at home and being a homemaker, and that's everything that I wanted to do. When I was younger, that's exactly what my dream was to be a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home wife. But I feel like that I have a creative bug. I love to read. I love to write. I'm not great at the drawing, but I just have a creative juice going on sometimes. And so I wanted to be able to utilize that. And on top of it, I'm a people person. So I love being around people. I love talking to people. And so I wanted something that I could literally do all of that with. And I thought if it could bring me a little bit of extra income, that'd be cool too. We weren't really struggling financially, but extra money, of course, doesn't hurt. And so I started looking at other direct sales and thinking, hey, maybe I could do this or maybe I could do that. And my husband was, to say the least, he was very skeptical about direct sales, period. And it's fair because I kind of was too. I never intended to be the, hey, join my team. Like, I never in my wildest dreams thought that was ever going to be reality for me. And so when I would bring these things to the table with him, he was like, no. And so then my sponsor, Alex, we had been friends, just internet friends, since our oldest were babies. And so she was on my Instagram. I was scrolling one day and I saw her post a join opportunity. And I think it was like I think they were having a joint promotion that month maybe. And anyways, and so I saw it, and so I messaged her and I was like, hey, can you tell me more about the opportunity? And she did. And then I went and did my own research, because that's the kind of guy my husband is. I knew he was going to ask all the hard questions, like what's the risk? How much does it cost to cancel? Where are you losing money? All that. How long has the company been around? All that stuff. So I went and did the research on my own, and then I brought it to my husband, and I was like, okay, here it is. There's no risk. Pay $99. You get this huge kit. And you know, like, we knew what Scentsy was, but at the time we didn't own any Scentsy. Okay. We didn't own any Scentsy. But I knew about it because when he was in the military, one of my good friends loved Scentsy, and I thought it was too expensive. I was like, I can go to Walmart and get the same thing. Like, no, PS, not the same thing. But anyways, and so after talking about it a little bit, he agreed that there was no real risk and that it was absolutely an opportunity that wouldn't hurt us for me to try. And so I jumped in, and I literally was just doing it because I wanted something fun to do. I wanted to be able to post pretty pictures on Facebook, because that's where I started. And I wanted to be able to have home parties with my friends. And if I brought in some extra income, cool. Okay. So I am a goal-driven person. Okay. So when I do put my mind to something, I do like to see results. That's not to say that I haven't given up on things in the past, but when I saw Shooting Star pop up on my workstation as a goal, I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. Like, I can do that. So all of a sudden I hit Shooting Star. And then it was Sensational Start Level 1. And then it was Sensational Start Level 2. And then all of a sudden it was Sensational Start Level 3. And I hit all of that in my first 70 days. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And as, you know, a month goes by, 2 months goes by, I see my paychecks are getting a little bit bigger. I mean, not huge, obviously, but like, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. You know, it's paying for my nails, or paying for my hair, or me and my husband's date nights, or a tank of gas. Like, still at that point, it was not about the money. So that was in September, October, November. End of November rolls around, and I notice on my workstation this incentive, this thing about an incentive. So I click on it, and I'm looking around, and I realize that we are in the middle of an incentive period that had started in August, so a month before I joined. And it had a little tracker thing, and I could see that I was so close to earning level 2, I think it was, which was it was the cruise, the Mediterranean cruise, for one person, all expenses paid. And I was like, holy cannoli, like, that would be incredible. Something me and my husband always talked about was traveling, but like, we were young newlywed couples when we got married. We were 19 when we got married, and then we had kids we had our first son at 21. And so, you know, we wanted to travel the world, but we figured, okay, we're having kids young. We'll do it when we're retired, and we'll still be fairly young, and we'll be more financially off. And so we just kind of brushed it aside. Like, that's something we're just going to have to wait till we're older for. So the thought of being able to go on a cruise, take my husband, pay my husband's way, was a new goal for me. And I was completely blown away that there was even an opportunity. Like, what company does this? I had no idea incentives were a thing. So I busted my butt. Okay. And I earned level 2 or whatever it was. And I earned my spot on that cruise. And we sailed to the Mediterranean, Europe, Spain, Rome, Italy, France. We went all of those places in the summer of 2018, which was also the first time that I had met Alex in person, and we instantly bonded. But the first time, but the moment my husband stepped on that boat, and it was real that I was there, my ticket to Barcelona where we ported, I was given money for spending and for travel, and they paid my airfare. All of that stuff was completely free. We just paid for my husband. Once that all sunk in, it was like a game changer, you guys. And it was from that moment on that I told myself I'm never not earning an incentive again. We are traveling. This is real. This is possible. And I want to experience this. I want to go on a vacation every single year because I realized Scentsy does an incentive every single year. Like, we're going on a vacation every single year. How amazing is this, right? So that was my new why. In that moment, I said, we are going on an incentive every single year. I will not earn it. And in that process, it required things of me that I didn't intend on doing, right? Obviously, maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't, but majority of our incentives, especially definitely trip incentives, require you to sponsor people, which means that I had to start building a team. And I had already started to do that when I earned that cruise, but I wasn't asking people to join my team. What was happening was I was sharing Scentsy and I was having such a good time, and it was so genuine that people were asking, how do I get some of that? Tell me how I join Scentsy because I want to do what you're doing. And so I hadn't stepped into, okay, I actually have to go out and like have conversations and things like that. But when I recognized that that was the key to unlocking some of those doors that I didn't realize were possibilities, like a no ceiling income, like promoting, like earning all these trips, when I realized that unlocking those doors were going to open up so many possibilities, I changed my mindset. And I said, you know what though? Like, if this business is doing this for me, imagine what it could do for other people. Like, why wouldn't I be wanting to share that with my friends, with my family? Why wouldn't I want to tell them that Scentsy has literally taken me on a Mediterranean cruise for free? Like, you can get some of this. You know, there's plenty to go around. So y'all, that's what I did. I put on my leadership hat the best that I knew how, and I'll talk about that a little bit, but I put on my leadership hat. I kept the creative juices flowing. I continued to have fun. I stayed true to who I was. And from that first incentive, and summer of 2018 was also my first Scentsy family reunion in Anaheim. And I was living in California at the time. And so we drove down there and we had so much fun. Scentsy family reunion was crazy. It was like a huge convention. I had no idea what to expect, but I met so many people. I had so much fun. And I said, I'm never missing a Scentsy family reunion either. I'm going to make this happen every single year because it's a game changer. It's a convention for your business. And so since then, since 2018, y'all, I have gone to every world tour. I have gone to every Scentsy family reunion. I have earned every single incentive. Why? Because this business has changed the course of my life. And I'm not just talking about the incentives. I'm talking about the people who have come into my life because of Scentsy, the friendships, the teammates, my sponsor. Like, so many things along the way have completely transformed who I am and how I view the world, how I view myself. I considered myself in 2017 a pretty confident person. Now I am like real confident. Like, I am not afraid to be who I am, because if a Scentsy community of thousands and thousands of consultants can accept me, or I feel welcome, or there's a place for me, and I know that I can achieve the things that I want to achieve, oh, you best believe I'm going to walk into a room like I own it, because I've been given the tools to know how, right? So like, what you think is a wax and warmer business is really, and I love this, Alex says this all the time, it's a personal growth opportunity disguised as a wax and warmer business, right? And we are in the business of changing lives. And the first one should be your own. Okay, so moving and grooving, right? I promote to director in 2018. I think it was September of 2018, right after my first Scentsy family reunion. I claimed that I would be a director at the next Scentsy family reunion and promoted a month later. Okay, and then I promoted to star director in May of 2020. Okay, and then I promoted to superstar director in September of 2020. Wild. Absolutely wild. Okay. There have been people who promoted a lot faster than me. I feel like that because of 2020 and the pandemic, it fast tracked me a little bit. But y'all, if the shoe fits, I'm gonna wear it. Okay, so I may not have necessarily felt ready to be a superstar director, but I'm gonna fake it till I make it. And you best believe I was showing up every day to make it happen. Why? Because I wanted to give my best to my team, y'all. Okay, I wanted to give the best to the people around me, and I wanted to continue to make my family's dreams come true. So now we're in 2020, okay, and if we backtrack to February, March timeframe when the pandemic began to take fold, some interesting things happen. So my husband is in law enforcement, and we were living in California, Central Valley, middle of California, okay, not LA, not anywhere near there, but middle America. And the tides began to change with law enforcement and how society was treating it. And we began to get a little nervous. We began to get a little cautious about if this was a place that we truly belong. So 2020, while my business and how I felt about Scentsy was on an all-time high, my confidence, my things that I placed value in my life, because I'm a busy bee, okay? I love to go. I was doing all the things. I was part of a MOPS group. I was a part of our home church, going to church every single Sunday. We had life groups. So my kids had VBS and doing all these things. I was out in the community doing things, law enforcement, wives, Bible study, like all this stuff. I had a packed schedule, and those are things that I placed value in, and I looked forward to every Sunday, every Thursday, every Monday night. I had things going on. And then all of a sudden pandemic hits, nobody's going anywhere, everything shut down, and I shut down. I kept my business afloat, but I was sinking. I felt like I have never in my entire life ever been hit with depression. I have never felt super duper like emotional for long periods of time. But 2020, without a doubt, I can say that I hit a low, and I was definitely depressed for probably about 6 months. So aside from not being able to go anywhere and see my friends, go out to eat with my husband, and be a part of the communities that I had like rooted myself in, there was the fear for my husband's life. He was going out and risking his life for a community that did not care. And I was just depressed. I was struggling. I went to counseling for the first time. And that's not a negative. I continued to go for a long time after, but, I share that with you because it's important for you to recognize that in life and in business, there will be lows. As a leader, you will experience this. And I want you guys to understand that a low does not get to define you, but neither does the mountaintop. Okay, so my journey from the valley of being in constant fear and losing myself during the pandemic was the gateway to us opening up the opportunity to have conversations about what does it look like for us to move our family away from family. My husband's entire family lived within a 2-mile radius of us, and we had so much support. We were surrounded by, the family that we love, and we were all very close. But to put a focus and our immediate family, my husband's life, our kids, to put that priority. And what does it look like for my husband to stay in this profession but be in a safer place? So it was in 2021 that we came out to Texas, and this is where Alex lives, here in Texas. And we came and visited her, and we just came here to visit. And then we started talking, and in in December of 2020, we came, and it was that trip. We spent like a week here. It was that trip that we decided we need to see if this is what God has for us. We need to see if our family is meant to move, then is this reality? Now, meanwhile, like I said, in 2020, my business was booming. I promoted superstar director. I had the highest paychecks I've ever had. I'm gonna be honest with you, $10,000 paychecks. Okay, we paid off all of our debt. We put money into savings. And all of a sudden, when we start talking about moving to Texas and seeing if that's what God has for us, we're looking at a savings account that could get us our first home, buy us our first home, right? We're looking at, it's a very real possibility for us to be in a financial position to be able to move, okay? So that entire year we spent on our knees. In 2021, we spent on our knees and working, right? I was working my business. I was putting away money. I was saving. My husband was doing the things on his end to make it possible for him to be able to transfer to Texas. And then we started looking at houses, and we went through that rigorous process, and it was all a lot. It was all a lot. But we knew that God was paving the way. So in 2022, February of 2022, my husband, December of 2021, we were told that our offer on this very house got accepted, and it would be ready in February of 2022, but it was actually March. February, very beginning, my husband moved out here, and then me and the kids followed a couple weeks later, and we moved from California to Texas, bought our first house on 2.5 acres, which has been my dream, to live on some land, be able to have some Highland cows. We moved out here. And I tell you what, we have never felt safer. We have never been more secure. And we've never been happier. So, but with all that, we would not have been able to do it without Scentsy. I knew my business and the way that I had worked set us up to be able to achieve this dream of ours. Without it, y'all, we would not have been able to buy this house. I don't know that we would have been able to move, because moving was expensive. So now all of a sudden my why is incentives, going on trips, all that, being a leader. But now what started out as me just being creative and having fun or whatever, I still do all that. I still love that part of it. But now my paycheck literally pays the mortgage. And to go from what it was to where I am now speaks to the possibilities of this business. And if you take it seriously and you take yourself seriously enough to say, I can do this, I'm capable of it, there are no limits. There's absolutely no limits. Y'all, I'm just a girl from a really small town. Like, I'm a mom of 3 kids. I don't have a college degree. It's this entire business is a learned skill. Anything you don't know, you can learn, including leadership. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to throw these 3 tips at you really quickly. I'm assuming most of you, all of you, have at least one person underneath you, right? And if you don't, that's okay. This is actually going to be great for you. But in leadership, no matter what you're doing, one thing I want you to always remember, do not wait until you're ready. Don't wait until you got it all figured out. Don't think that you need to be so-and-so to be able to have a team, grow a team, be a leader, be a strong leader. You can be a strong, secure leader with one person underneath you. And if you don't have anybody underneath you, start acting like a leader. Create that person now. Start becoming that leader that you want to be now. Don't wait until you're ready. Don't wait until the cards fall on the table perfectly. You're never going to feel 100% ready. Anybody who's had a kid knows that, okay? You're never going to be 100% ready. The key is to make a plan and dive in. And it's okay to be flexible about it later. It's okay to change it later. It's okay to evolve and grow and learn and have a growth mindset and figure it out along the way. But as long as you have a basic action plan of how you're going to move forward, that's enough. Do not wait until you think you're going to be ready, because that day may never come. That's the thing. Someday is not a day on the calendar. One day is not a day on the calendar. Start now. Start today. Start having those conversations with people today. You never know who's on the other end who needs to hear the dream that you're talking about. And in turn, it could literally be the person who changes your business forever. You're literally one person away from your business being a completely different business. Tip number 2, I say this a lot. Maybe some of you have heard this before. Walk with the walkers, run with the runners. Okay, the hardest part about leadership, the most heartbreaking part about leadership, when you really get into it and you really start enjoying it and you really think you got it all figured out, is you're going to have people who say they want it, but their actions do not reflect that. You're going to have people who say they're going to show up and then they don't. You're going to have people who say they want this business, see the vision, but don't. Okay? If you want to grow this business tall and wide, you have to understand, and I suggest you understand it sooner rather than later and just expect it, because it's a lot more harder and heartbreaking to be in the midst of it trying to figure it out. Not everybody is going to want it as bad as you do, even if they say it. Trust people's actions. That's not to say that a walker can't turn into a runner. That's not to say that people won't change. Same for the opposite. You could have a runner who all of a sudden fizzles out and becomes a walker. Okay? Watch what people do, and when they show you who they are, a walker or a runner, believe them. And if they're a walker, you can absolutely be an amazing leader and not hold their hand. You do not have the time to be chasing people. Do not. That's not to say you don't care about them, you don't care about their success, but they know where to find you. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say, hey, I hear that you want this business. When you are ready to take that next step, do this next thing, attend this training, whatever, I'm right here. I'll be here. But until then, I don't need to sit around and wait. You've got other people to attend to. You've got other opportunities to share. You've got trips to earn. You've got leaders to develop. You've got a business to run. You do not have time to be walking with walkers or running with walkers. When people show you what they want with this business, believe them and act accordingly. And the last thing is one of those hard things, because I think that at some point, like especially when I became a superstar director, sorry, there's a hair. When I became a superstar director, I was like, oh, maybe like not quit, but maybe like take it easy a little bit and like whatever. But then all of a sudden I recognized, wait, if I'm not sponsoring people then I don't have any control over the growth of my team. I'm relying on other people to do it. But I need to be doing exactly what I'm telling other people to do, right? Because that's what a leader does. Walks the walk and talks the talk. So I can't sit back and say, hey guys, be recruiting, be talking to people, be having joint conversations, and me not doing it myself, right? So the thing is though, no matter where you are in your Scentsy business, you're going to recruit and you're going to have a lot of people join, and majority of them are going to be hobbyists. Majority of them are going to be once in a while consultants. And that's okay. We need them. We need them. You need your hobbyist consultants. You need your walkers. Okay? This business does thrive on that baseline. It's like the heartbeat of this business, right? But you also need to be bringing those people in, because the more that you bring in, the higher probability you're going to find your rock star. You're gonna find the one who sees the vision and acts accordingly, right? So the idea of recruiting the many to find the few is a leadership tip that I wish that I would have known earlier on, because I got so discouraged every time I would sponsor somebody and they became a hobbyist, or they fell off, or they didn't want it like they said they did. I was so discouraged because I thought, hey, you're my next rock star, okay? I've recruited 5 people, you should be the one. But that's not how it goes. There's a lot of statistics out there that will tell you 1 in 5, 1 in 10, and that may be true, but don't start counting. Just do it. Don't say you're my 10th person. Are you my rock star? You better be my rock star, and stop there. You have to keep recruiting. Recruit the many to find the few, and you will. If you keep opening that door, you never know who's on the other side of that opportunity, who wakes up and sees the vision and goes full throttle, and it literally changes your business forever. That's the thing. And especially right now, you guys, in this time that we're at, people need this business more than they even know. Inflation record high, gas prices record high, food is skyrocketing. People need the extra income. Are you letting them know that it's possible with Scentsy? Are you having those conversations? Recruit the many to find the few. As long as you keep that in your mind, and as long as you take responsibility for your part in that, because that's the thing, even as a leader, even as a director, star director, superstar director, your role in your own business doesn't change. Right? And when you become a superstar director, it's not like, okay, I don't have to do my PRV anymore. I don't have to recruit people anymore. No, your role does not change. You are still a Scentsy consultant. You are still responsible for your own business, the PRV that you're bringing in, and you are still responsible for the people that you're bringing in. And you should hold that to a really high standard. You should hold yourself to a really high standard in that regard. Why? Because that's what leaders do. They hold themselves to a higher standard than you hold other people. Not because you're better than them, but because you want to pave the way for them to make a way themselves, for them to follow. Recruit the many to find the few. To me, these 3 tips, when I was thinking about it and I prayed about it a little bit, I was like, what resonates with me as a leader? What did I wish that I knew when I became a director? Don't wait till you're ready. Walk with the walkers, run with the runners, and recruit the many to find the few. You'll get there. And it's okay if you don't feel like you're there yet. It's okay. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so thankful that I could be here with y'all and chat with you guys about this. I hope that something resonated with you. And of course, if you have any questions, y'all know where to find me. But it was a pleasure, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your last week of this Loop to Lead program. And I can't wait to see y'all come out the other side. Have a good one, y'all.